could mention if you're new or returning to the channel here. I go by Josh, Joshua, or Elion, Josh, Joshua, or Elion. I am your elite consciousness and transformation guide on your journey into an understanding of a higher mind or into a spiritual awakening for those of you who feel like you're on that path. So good to see you. Hi, Herringbone. Welcome. Hi, Mars, returning. Hey, Moat, good to see you. Why? Consciousness asks a question and it also answers it. Right? Because the deep calling within a human consciousness. I will not be putting you to sleep tonight. That will be not happening, Tammy, unless you decide to fall asleep to it. No. These Saturday and Sunday night lives are different than the Monday through Friday night lives. These ones are designed for those individuals that are on a higher calling for their spiritual and soul journey, and they're moving into the truth. Yeah, they're releasing the ego identities, they're releasing the old, releasing memory constructs, releasing fears, anxieties, worries, doubts, confusions, the miseries, the sadness, the grieving, as that's getting released from many humans, from many people at this point in time, as we're moving into a higher heart, into an awakening of love, and into a higher understanding. So for those of you who are in here for that purpose, beautiful thing. Welcome in, good to see you. We got Carla returning from Arizona, Beth from Virginia. Excellent, good to see you, good to see you. If you could mention if you're new or returning to the channel as you're coming in, and I will give you that warm welcome in here. Once again, I go by Josh, Joshua, or Elion, and I'm here in Minnesota myself. And we will be going on the spiritual dive here this evening. Something a little bit new for those of you that have been in here quite often on the Saturday, Sundays. Tonight we're going to talk about detaching from the matrix. What is it? How to detach from it? What is it all about? Why do people talk about it all the time? And then also we'll be talking about the ego versus the true self here. All right, ego versus true self. Hey, Hopeful returning from Canada. We got Tammy from Kentucky. Mary Jo from Michigan. Bernie's ready with her popcorn and drink. Angie from Utah. Excellent. Good to see you all. Good to see you. Let's go. Welcome in.
The Matrix is a computer generated.
Ah, crap. Let's see. Output. We want maybe that.
The Matrix
There
is
we
a
go.
computer generated dream world built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this. You have to let it all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, and disbelief. Free your mind.
You could all hear that, right? Please let me know that you could hear that. Who in here could hear that? Yes. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Natasha. Beautiful. Beautiful. Excellent. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Excellent. Tonight I will invite individuals to come up probably about an hour from now. I'll be doing a few talks beforehand. A little too loud, Jackie? On my end it sounds really good, but if it sounds, who else thinks that it's too loud? Is the music too loud for everybody else? Because I have it down pretty low. It's meant to be heard. It is a tad loud? Okay. Mars thinks it's great. Yeah, it's meant to be part of the background, so I can turn down just a little. I already had it down pretty low. I had it at 10% out of 100, so. Excellent. Beautiful. The music is fine. When I say the word matrix or the matrix, you see a lot of videos on that now, right? You see a lot of videos or a lot of people talking about it, escape it, right? What comes to the word, what comes to your mind if I say the word the matrix or matrix? Anything come to your mind? If someone says the word the matrix or matrix, what comes to your mind? Fake reality, control, the movie, the program, simulation, a Hollywood movie. Beautiful. I always love to see the separate individual perspectives, right? Not real, the program, systems. That's right. Let's break free. So first, to set the foundation. All right. First, we set the foundation. What does it actually truly mean? Why do so many people have such a deep understanding after the movie? What happens inside of you and inside of your mind, right? So instead of a literal simulation, like a lot of people want to think of it, let's put it into easier terms for most people, so it's not just some spiritual sci-fi, so far-fetched for a lot of people. All right, so go ahead and type in conditioning, right? Conditioning, social programming, and unconscious patterns. Conditioning, social programming, unconscious patterns. So whether anybody likes it or not, they will be a part of it, right? Conditioning, social programming, and unconscious patterns. No matter what, somebody is going to be a part of it. I don't care if they said they've escaped it or they're free from it or whatever, they are still living by their own conditioning and their own social programming. Even if someone lives off grid, they are still a part of the matrix, even though they're fooling themselves. They're just living by a different conditioning and a different social programming. There are default ways of thinking on this planet or in your environment. There's default ways of thinking, of living in certain environments, within certain constructs. For example, a default thought is, I need this job to be secure. I need this job to live. That's a default thought. That's a default program, right? Because if truth is, if you got fired from that job, you would find a new one, right? To survive, would you not? If you got fired, if you got your pink slip tomorrow, you would find a new one, right? So the truth is, you don't need that job to be secure. It's a default program. It's a default thought. So most people feel like they're in a cage by their own belief systems and by their own thought patterns. And then they blame, oh, the matrix has me, right? Or the big guy has me, or the bad people have me, right? Or whatever, and I'm in the cage. Another default thought is, I need approval to feel worthy. That's another default program thought in a lot of human consciousness. I need approval to feel worthy. You need to be loved. You need the approval. You need the clapping and the praise, the likes, the comments, whatever it may be, to feel worthy. I need their approval to feel good about myself. Right? It's another default program. Okay? So when I mention the word the matrix, this is going to be conditioning, social programming, and unconscious patterns, and I don't care who they are, they're living by them. All right? Even if someone says, I've escaped the matrix, they're lying to themselves. All right? Why? Because the quantum field is the matrix regardless. There's no escaping the quantum field. It's part of the physical reality. Okay? There's no escaping the quantum field if you want a physical body. Please type that in the chat. If I want a physical body, a physical form, there's no escaping the field. All right? There's no escaping the matrix or the quantum field. If you have particles, if you have atoms, there's no escape. All right? You're a part of it. You're a part of the physical reality, okay? I hate to break it to you. But if you have atoms, if you have molecules, if you have cells, you're part of this physical experience. All right? Another default program thought for human consciousness is success equals money, or success equals status, right? And money and status being one and the same, right? That's another default program, especially for Americans. It's not as much in other parts of the world, but in the matrix that we live in America, success equals money. You're not important, you're not good enough unless you have money or unless you have status, right? The quantum field is the ever-present plane of all reality, Angie. It's in quantum physics, it's proven by science that there's waves of energy moving on fields, which are planes of existence in which things can come into form. That's one of the best ways I can explain it. Planes of existence that have laws in which things can come into form, okay? In the Bible it says, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And then vibration being made manifest into form. right? The light making manifest into form of all things. Okay. So the matrix isn't outside of you. It is you. It is part of you, and it runs inside of you, and it runs your being. So please type that in the chat. The matrix is not outside of me. Most people think they're trying to escape something on the outside. The matrix makes up who and what you are in this moment. This is why Neo is going through his journey of, you got to let it all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, free your mind. You're a part of it. The matrix is not outside of you. Most people fight it like it's something outside of themselves, like it's their neighbors. Oh, my neighbors are the matrix, and they're living from a place of paranoia. This is where most spiritual teachers are coming from, is a place of paranoia. Oh, the matrix, my neighbors are the part of the matrix, and my boss is part of the matrix. And if they're talking like that, they are part of it, and they don't even realize. They don't recognize. All right.
The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this. You have to let it all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, and disbelief. Free your mind.
What are the things that are going on inside of your mind, inside of your reality currently, as far as energies that have been moving? What have you been dealing with emotionally? If you would be so kind to be vulnerable and share in the chat, right? These emotions and these thoughts and these energies that are moving are part of all of human consciousness as one being that's evolving, and you are a part of that process. So what is it that you all have been going through recently, as far as emotions, as far as patterns, or as far as energies moving? Disappointment. Thank you for sharing, Beth. If you wouldn't mind being vulnerable and just sharing in the chat, what is it that you've been going through recently? Feeling avoidant? Grief and sadness because of your husband passing? So I know you say healing from avoidant, but in truth, there's a double-sided coin of someone who wants the approval, right? Wants the validation. Grief and sadness, fear, burnout. You haven't felt like being social, heartbroken, anxious thoughts. Fear. Right? Gratitude. Oh, okay, gratitude. It's a cycle, so stretch your awareness, sure. Feeling confused. Kay, you've been a deep part of the channel as well. So I know you're saying that what you've been feeling recently was gratitude, so that's beautiful. It's a cycle, so stretch your awareness. Sure. Feeling confused, soulmate left. Encouraged, feeling discouraged.
Take out the trash. The trash is anything that is keeping you from the only thing that matters. That's the first part of your training. Learning to throw out everything you don't need in here.
All right. So first part of the training, we start to retrain the brain and the nervous system. If you're part of the matrix, your coding is acting a certain way, and it's receiving certain messages, and it's receiving certain energies, right? So your DNA, your brain, your coding within the matrix is receiving certain energies, it's receiving certain messages, receiving certain thoughts. And when we integrate and we bring you into a higher mind, when we bring you into a higher reality, into a higher understanding, they no longer affect you in the same way. No longer affected in the same way. Who in here wants to feel more peace, more love, more joy, and just a greater appreciation for life? Right? Who in here wants to feel more peace, more love, more joy, and a greater appreciation for life? Beautiful. Because the problem with the journey, the spiritual journey, isn't that things are happening in your reality. It's that you hate some of the matrix, you hate some of the dream, and you like other parts of it, rather than loving the whole thing and integrating and learning how to integrate the whole thing. You're breaking it into separate parts. I hate this part of the matrix, I hate this part of myself, I hate this part of this, but I like this, this, and this over here, right? How do we integrate all of it, right? We become the warrior mind, okay? You are moving into the warrior mindset.
Mind is just a reflex organ. Reacts to everything. Fills your head with millions of random thoughts a day. None of those thoughts reveal any more about you than a freckle does at the end of your nose.
Okay, the mind is a reflex organ, all right? It is a cause and effect part of this matrix. You are part of it. And the mind is part of that cause and effect part of the matrix. How do you know what you know? How do you know what you know? Everything that you've ever learned. How do you know English? Some of you know Spanish, some of you know French. You learned it, right? How do you know fear? You learned it. How do you know shame or guilt? You learned it. How do you know despair or depression or anger or frustration? You learned it. Right? The mind is a reflex organ. Okay? Right? Chicken balls, you're looking for one word to get you there. That's what this is all designed for. This whole journey, it's whether you're willing to dive in deep and stay with it, or if you just want one sentence so you can run, right? Are you willing to dive in deep on your journey, or do you want one word to say, ta-da, right? It's amazing, actually. Beautiful. It's a removal process. It's a removal process. Everybody type in removal process. Everybody type in removal process.
Life is choice. You can choose to be a victim or anything else you'd like to be.
Just ignore what happened to me.
A warrior acts, only a fool reacts.
Right? Removal process. Right? It's a journey. It's a journey. That's a part of the beauty, is loving your journey. It's you. It's you. If you walk into a store, if you go to Starbucks, if you go to a school, if you go into the gym, if you're in your home, what is the constant? Who and what is the constant? Who is what in the constant in every single scene? That's right. That's right. Type that in the chat. I am in every single scene. I am in every single scene. Go ahead and type that in the chat. I am in every single scene. You are the constant. You're in every single scene. So what does that mean? Regardless of the circumstance, you are the constant. You're the one in the scene. So do you fight the scene itself, that which is ever changing, or you work on that which is ever present and the constant? Ooh, that's going to go deep for a lot of you. How many of you just got a light bulb in that moment? Are you going to try and change that which is ever changing, the circumstances, or are you going to change that which is the constant, which is the reflection? You're in every single scene, right? Every single part. Yeah, light bulb. So why would you work on that which is changing on the outside? Why wouldn't you work on that which is the constant? Yourself. Come to know yourself, or you live in poverty, and it is you who are that poverty, as Christ said. Those are not my words. Those are Christ's words. Come to know yourself, or you will live in poverty, and it is you who are that poverty. He's talking about a spiritual poverty. You could apply it to money as well if you're looking at wealth consciousness, but he's talking about spiritual consciousness, right? With all thy getting, get understanding. Understanding of what? Of your own awareness, of your own self, right? He's speaking to the kids in the city and some adults as well, and they're asking him, tell us what the kingdom is like. Christ, tell us what the kingdom is like, right? And he says it is like this. There is a father and two sons, right? There's father and two sons. And the father goes up to the first son and says, go into the field and do the work. And the first son says, no, absolutely not. That's too hard. That's too much work. I don't want to do that. That's stupid. What's the point? This is dumb. What's the point? What's the reason? What is all this about? Right? And then he takes a little bit of time. That first son takes a little bit of time, and then he recognizes, okay, my father actually cares about me. He's telling me these things for my highest and greatest good, so I can live a beautiful life. So he goes into the field and does the work. Now, the father goes to the second son and says, go into the field and do the work. And the second son says, absolutely, I love you. You're my father. I'll do whatever you want me to. And then, when the father leaves, he does not go into the field and do the work. Who does the will of the father? Is it the one who says, I love you so much, you're amazing, you're my dad, and doesn't go into the field and do the work? Or is it the first one that kicks and screams and pouts and doesn't like it, but actually does the work, right? Who does the will of the father? Right? And what is this field that Christ is talking about for what the kingdom is like, how to get there? He points over and over and over again, the kingdom of heaven is within, but how do you get there? Seek, search, look, find, knock. And he says, that which is left in the darkness of the unconscious is that which will destroy you. That which is brought into the light is that which will save you. He doesn't say unconscious, but right, he's speaking in such a way thousands of years ago to people that are working on farms. Understand, there's slaves, there's people working on farms. They're living in a very low level of consciousness. These people did not have evolved brains 2,000 years ago. And he's speaking on a very high level when it comes to understandings on the quantum field, which is now only being understood by science. Thousands of years ago, right? So he's saying go into the field and do the work, the field of awareness. He's speaking over and over again about your thoughts, about your emotions. He's talking in parables and stories. As within, so without. That's right. That's right. Irrelevant for this conversation, light spiritual warrior. Irrelevant. So as we come into a greater understanding of our own self, of our own consciousness, and bringing peace, love, joy into the world, what is it that gets in the way of that? What is it gets in the way of your highest self, of your light? It's not about comparison on this journey. It doesn't matter what somebody else has done. It doesn't matter how good somebody else looks or how bad somebody else looks. This is about you bringing your highest version into the world. It has nothing to do with comparing yourself to somebody else, right? Nothing else with comparing to somebody else, right? So somebody else might be making a lot of money or might be living like they're from a high state of love, it might look like, right? But this is about bringing yourself into the world, right? So what's gonna get in the way? Distractions, negativity, right? So Roni, everything is matrix. You are it. You are it. Most people look at it like it's the outside. They're looking outside of themselves. Oh, my neighbors and the people at the grocery store, they're part of the matrix, and I'm not. You are it. Right? Feeling sorry for yourself. Yeah. What are those things that are going to be that which we would take out? Right? What would we take out?
Take out the trash. The trash is anything that is keeping you from the only thing that matters. That's the first part of your training. Learning to throw out everything you don't need in here.
Learning to throw out the things you don't need. How many things are in your mind that are just distractions, that are truly irrelevant to your reality? And they just become this spinning story in the mind for more research or this or that, and you're not living from your joy, from your peace, from your love. You're not living from your creation, and it's just a distraction or a numbing or a hiding, right? How many things like this happen, right? What needs to be thrown out, right? What is time to be thrown out? Jealousies. Let's go, Bobby. Good to see you. Right? The fear. We tackle fear in many lives, right? I go into the 3 different fears. You've got the physical fear, you have the social psychological fear, and then we have spiritual fear, right? And I break down the 10 top fears for human beings as well, and how they get formed. Doubts, negatives, envies. Sure, envies and vanities can be very strong, especially in the American culture and in a couple others in Europe. Envy and vanity aren't as big in a lot of countries around the world, but in America they're very, very high. Fears, spiritual fear. Right. Who are you? Right? Who are you? Are you the fear? Are you the fear? Does the fear come and go? Does the fear come and go? Right? The fear comes and goes, right? I want the people who mention fear to answer this. Does the fear come and go? Yes, fear comes and goes, right? Just like when you're living in your home and you open the door and people come and go, right, from your home. People come and go from your home, right, when you open your door from your physical house. From your vessel, from your physical house, you let people in and out, right? You let people in and out, right? So are you the fear? Or is it coming in, coming out, coming in and coming out, right?
Where are you?
Here,
What time is it?
now,
What are you?
this moment.
Beautiful. Fear comes and goes. It has a vessel that it can attach onto. It has a mind that is susceptible to it. And it says, yes, I like this. This is a good spot. Fear feeds on what? Does anybody know what fear feeds on? What does fear feed on? There we go, Terry. Let's go. Attention. Fear feeds on attention. Attention. Attention, attention, attention. Attention, energy is equivalent to attention. Your focus, your attention. Fear feeds on attention. It grows like a wildfire when it's given attention. This is where conspiracy theories blow up because of the attention given on it. Or fear around whatever it may be. Fear around aliens, or fear around the governments, or fear around whatever it may be. Fear grows on attention. Why do you think you see a new headline in the news every 5 days? Once the fear starts dissipating and going down, something new has to be put into people. It needs to be fed. Please type that in the chat. Fear needs to be fed. To keep it going, it needs to be fed. It truly has a belly to it. It has a belly to it. It's a gluttonous spirit. Fear is a gluttonous spirit. It wants to keep eating. Otherwise, it starts to get skinny, and it says, we need to be fed. Dish out some more fear. Dish out some more fear. Right? This is where part of this journey you take on that warrior mind.
Mine's just a reflex organ. Reacts to everything. Fills your head with millions of random thoughts a day. And none of those thoughts reveal any more about you than a freckle does at the end of your nose.
Beautiful. Overcome crippling fear, right? So even by the way that you stated that, there you have fear of fear. One of the greatest quotes of all time is, the only thing to fear is fear itself, and that's why you have an immense building up of your nervous system. You're afraid of the fear. It's crippling. And then you want to fight it immensely. There's a great fear of the fear itself, right? There's a great fear of the fear itself. That's why one of the greatest quotes of all time is, the only thing to fear is fear itself. Right. Hi, Kelly. Good to see you. For those of you who are coming in, once again, I go by Joshua or Elion. This is Higher Consciousness Live Awakenings Conversations. It will be interactive. I will have people come up and chat as well. Make sure to grab your heart at the top. That will notify you when we come on, right? That will notify you when we come on, would be the daily heart me at the top. If you're enjoying these conversations, it's free to follow in the upper left up there, right? And then those who send appreciations, that's what that 2% number is there. The higher that gets, that it helps push this channel out. It helps the journey for this channel as well. I thank you so much for those of you who sent things this evening. Not required of you, of course, but it's greatly appreciated. Let's go. Thanks for the follows, Kelly and Mookie. If you could just mention where you are from, if you're returning or new to the channel, I'll give you a warm welcome in. Once again, I go by Joshua or Elion, and I'm here in Minnesota myself. And these are the exclusive nighttime weekend lives. This only happens on the weekend, so take advantage of it. This does not happen normally. Normally, we are doing the morning wake-ups and the nighttime go to bed. I wake people up and I put them to sleep, normally. Annie returning. Good to see you. Mookie from Tennessee. Terry from Texas. Let's go. Annie from North Carolina. Kelly from Maryland. Holly from Minnesota. Excellent. Bobby from Serbia. Kay from Texas. Yeah, like to be put to sleep. That's right. God has designed this guy in such a way that he's very good at putting people to sleep, bringing them peace, love, serenity inside. So then the hypnotherapy can come out in that way. Kindfulness from British Columbia. Brittany from Ontario. Christina from the Ozarks. Yeah, like Tammy, you just said, definitely your calling. Right. Every once in a while on this path, this guy questioned, why do I not have a good singing voice? It's not fair, God. I love singing. I love singing, but my voice is awful at it. Terrible at singing, right? It's because the voice is designed for hypnotherapy. It's designed for a deep level of hypnosis, right? I didn't get to choose that. I didn't choose my voice, right? It's very monotone. It's perfect for hypnosis, but I didn't choose that, right? It just happened. Spirit having human experience. Let's go. The Enchanted Forest. Speaking of which, the music from last night is available, right? It's available now. It's called Celestial Harmony. It has light activation codes in it. A lot of people were like, whoa, what is this music? Probably something you've never heard before. This is a much higher level of consciousness that is awakening light codes inside of yourself as well, where a lot of you are probably like, what in the world is going on inside of me? This is beautiful. Some people cried, right? So if you want access to that music, it is now available. It's called Celestial Harmony. All right, just let me know. Fill out the link in the bottom left down there if you want access to that music from last night or any of the lives. You loved it, yeah. That music's incredible. All right. For those of you who are coming in here, if you've never seen this channel, this isn't just a normal TikTok channel, okay? You're going to notice the energy is far different. The people in here are far different. Everybody's on an incredible journey who has been a part of this community. It's all about coming into the highest aligned version of yourself, deep nervous system regulation, coming into a great place of inner alignment, and truly skipping into the highest timeline version of yourself. If that's something that you feel called and you feel maybe even curious, go ahead and give a follow and continue on the journey here, right? Become who you're meant to be. Carry yourself into the highest version of yourself. Right? Beautiful. Let's go ahead and continue talking about the Matrix. The Matrix, right? Why do so many people become paranoid about it? Right. So, the Matrix is not outside of you, right? The Matrix is not outside of you. It is everything. How do people become trapped in it? How do people become trapped in it and they're called NPCs or stuck in the hamster wheel? You feel like you're stuck. How many of you have ever felt like you're stuck? Or you're lost? Two very key words that the mind will say. Two very key words that the mind will say. I feel trapped, I feel stuck, or I'm lost. Let's go. We just got a super fan. Let's go, Mars. I will get you into the exclusive super fan chat, Mars, after we're done here. I think that you'll enjoy it. It's extremely uplifting. It's growing very quickly. Everybody welcome Mars into the superfan. Excellent. Go ahead and give her a big either planet or star. Either a planet or a star. Because you are a supernova once you become a superfan in here. Let's go, Mars. Excellent. Beautiful. So how do people become trapped in it, right? You're going to hear yourself say, I feel lost, I feel trapped, or I feel stuck. This is the mind explaining its situation inside of itself. Let me say that again. Your mind explaining your situation inside of yourself. You're experiencing your own awareness, right? Consciousness is experiencing its own awareness. Jeremy, other people told me to turn it down. I know I did have it up a little bit louder on the music, but other people said it was too loud. I have to meet a medium where I can't keep everybody happy. It's impossible, right? It's impossible. Beautiful. So how to keep people trapped, right? I feel trapped. I feel stuck. I feel lost. How many of you have ever said that before? Put a 1 in the chat right now. If you've ever found yourself saying, I feel lost, I feel stuck. Right. Just put a 1 in the chat. I feel trapped. Maybe you felt trapped before. What do we get trapped in? We get trapped in situations, in jobs, in relationships, in finances. Right? It's by design. It's by the structure itself. You're supposed to feel trapped. You're supposed to feel stuck. You're supposed to feel lost. Why? Because it keeps the hamster wheel going. It keeps the cycle going. It keeps you exactly where you're supposed to be. Right? In the Bible, it says where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's liberty. Right? Go into the world, bind up the brokenhearted, and free my captives. Christ says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. It's about freedom of what? What is it designed to free you from? What is it designed to free you from? It's designed to free you from this feeling of I'm stuck, I'm lost. Right? It's designed to bring a great level of connection inside of yourself. He says you tear down that temple and I will rebuild it in 3 days. He's not talking about a physical church. Right? He's talking about the temple of your own awareness, of your own mind. Right? Illness and fear. You can definitely get stuck in illness and fear. Right? Control. It's a physical body. Right? Old programming. That's right. Programming, the conditioning. So how do people get trapped or stuck in these things? We're born into systems and then we adopt those beliefs automatically. They're unconscious, right? Go ahead and type that in the chat. Born into a system and then we adopt that system. This is how almost every religion functions. It's how every school system functions, governments function. It's how language functions. I'm born into it and then my voice sounds a certain way. I believe a certain thing. I'm born into a poor community and then I believe that I'm going to be broke or it's too difficult to get money. I'm born into a community where no one goes to college. No one goes to college here. That won't happen, right? Born into communities. You're born into systems and then you adopt those beliefs automatically. You're born into a system and then you adopt that belief. What does schooling teach? Schooling teaches you to be compliant. It teaches you how to pass a test, be good at getting an A, right? It doesn't teach you awareness. It doesn't teach you how to learn yourself. It doesn't teach you street smarts, right? It teaches you how to be compliant, right? And how to follow the systems and follow the rules. Now, this guy was someone who always challenged the rules, who always asked, why is this a rule? Why that doesn't make sense? Why, how did this become a rule? Why would people follow this? This guy always questioned and he was always put in trouble because of it. And people would say, just because. Josh, it's a rule just because. Now just follow it and just listen. That was every teacher with this guy as I grew up. This doesn't make sense to me. Why would this be a rule? This is stupid. Why are people following this? This guy would say that all the time when he was younger. Because it is, Josh. Because the authorities say so. Just follow it. Just follow it, Josh. We say this is a rule, now just do it. Because it's a rule. Right? Maybe some of you ask those deeper questions. Why? Why is this a rule? It doesn't make any sense. Why has our system adopted this? Why do I follow something that is outdated? Why do I follow something that is outdated? Right? Why do I follow something that is not serving people? It's not serving people. And you're just listening to somebody that's telling you to do something. So this is what happens. You're born into a system. People adopt it. They do it unconsciously and automatically. And they just follow. Right? Christ says, when the blind lead the blind. right? If the leader is blind and leading everybody else, when the blind leader walks off of a cliff, everybody walks with them, right? If the blind lead the blind, when that leader is walking, everybody follows with them. This is the vast majority of social media right now. There's people with millions and millions of followers, and they are programming all of their followers with nonsense, with vanity, with greed, with loneliness, with despair, with all sorts of craziness, right? And then you got people running around going 6'7", 6'7", right? And their brains are being turned into mush. All right. Media. What does media do? What does the media do? Right. What does the media do? The media is another system designed to implant beliefs. Please type that in the chat. The media is designed to implant beliefs. Okay? The media is designed to implant beliefs. This is their forte, right? This is why they're around. That's their purpose. Their purpose is to implant beliefs. What do? They reinforce fear. They bring in comparisons and lack. They continually put into the mind, there's not enough. There's not enough. There's not enough. Everything's falling apart. Continually, fear, comparison, and lack. They're designed to implant those beliefs, right? And the social validation in your mind likes to see those things. If you believe something and it's validated, see, I knew this was right. The ego loves to be right. It doesn't like to be free. Please type in the chat. The ego loves to be right. It doesn't care about being free. For example, someone might spend all day on the street arguing their opinion. And then by the time somebody says you're right, they go, yes, I knew it, I was right. But they had a terrible day. They spent all day on the street arguing, right? They spent all day on the street arguing, and yet they're happy that that someone told them they're right. Finally, yes, someone told me I'm right. The ego loves to be right. It doesn't care about being free. It doesn't care about being happy or joyful or in love. It doesn't care about being happy or joyful or in love. It cares about being right and fighting for its opinion and its arguments and its pains and its victimhood or its shames or its guilts, right? The ego loves to be right, and it will fight to the better end in some people, right? Especially the victims. The victims will fight to the end to tell me, I am a victim, damn it. Tell me I'm a victim. I will not do it. Why? Because the ego is playing its little game and its little role with me. The world is out to get me. God hates me. Tell me God hates me. I won't do it because God loves you. Right? You don't see from the eyes of truth. No, I'm the most cursed person on the planet. And God hates me. No. That's from your own individualist perspective, and you can't see from a higher mind. Right? Excellent. So why do people not question these things? Why do people not question these things? Because they're scared of being different. That's the truth. People don't question these things because it's not okay to be different. It's not okay to question things. It feels normal. It's conforming, right? Whatever's normal, I'm not going to be different, right? Yeah. Yeah, victimhood is implanted in a lot of people, and it's designed that way, right? And what some people come in here, oh, he's shaming, he's victim shaming or whatever. This guy's evil, he's victim shaming you, right? Not at all. I'm freeing you from that ego mind perspective, so then you can create a new reality, so you can live from a higher self, so you can actually create something new rather than be a part of that double-sided coin and continue to play the victim role, right? Complainers don't make it in here very long. People who point fingers, who blame and complain and say poor me, they don't make it very long in here. They leave. They don't like this voice, they don't like this channel. Why? Because you'll either transform and you'll start to move into a higher joy, into a higher love, and say, wow, I can create a new reality. I can live in joy and happiness and peace. Or they'll leave, or they'll run, right? They just won't last very long in here. Comfort is familiar. Comfort is familiar. Please type that in the chat, right? Comfort is familiar. What does that mean? It means whatever is familiar to your mind is what's comfortable. The unknown, I just made a recent video on the unknown. Please go watch it after you're done here. It's very powerful, and it's a beautiful video. It's very powerful, and it's a beautiful video. So please go watch it when you have the opportunity. All right, comfort is familiar. Comfort is familiar. Yeah, stepping out of the comfort zones. That's right. The comfort is familiar. So what does that mean? Whatever you're used to is what you're going to want to continue doing. Whatever you're used to thinking, whatever you're used to feeling, whatever you're used to having in your life, your nervous system and your brain and your mind is going to want to continue with the same patterns. And the older we get, the more concrete that it gets set. This is proven in neuroscience now. By around 30, 35 years old, your identity is basically concrete. And that person, by the time they're 35, they're going to continue working the same type of jobs, making the same type of money, having the same type of friends, having the same type of belief systems, going to the same type of church, whatever it is, right? It's going to be very, very similar for the rest of their life. I can turn off this little atmosphere thing. Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you, Rochelle. Let's go, Jeremy. 3 months in. Right? You've been pushed and forced to step out of comfort, radical transformation. Right, that's what happens. There's something called synaptic pruning. In neuroscience, there's something called synaptic pruning. That is when your being, when your identity starts to do something different than its normal mapping. There's a map, there's a route inside of you that you normally take for emotions or for actions. This is my normal action, this is my normal emotion, this is my normal response. When it starts to go a different route, there is a clipping of a neuron. It's called synaptic pruning. There's literal clippings of neurons, and then they start to reform themselves. This is why I talk on by the time someone normally is 30, 35 years old, they become very concrete, very set. But the younger somebody is, the more malleable they are. Does everyone in here know what malleable is? As I say that word? Neuroplasticity, yeah. Everyone know what malleable is? Please say no if you don't, and I'll explain it. It's not a big deal if you don't know what it is. Okay. So malleable means that it is easily shapeable. It means like a potter with clay, right? In the Bible, it talks about that a couple times, like dough, right? The Father is the great potter, and we are the clay, right? So when you're malleable, you're easily shaped. You're easily formed into something different. Now, if you're not malleable, you're like concrete. You're Play-Doh that has become dried out, right? Some people are the Play-Doh that's become dried out. They're stuck in their ways. They're concrete. They're going to believe what they believe. They're going to talk the way they talk. They're going to have their opinions, and they're going to have their actions. They're never changing. They're no longer malleable. They can't be molded by anything, right? At that point. Doesn't matter, right? God can't touch them because they're concrete. Their identity is stuck. Not even God can touch them at that point. Not even God will change them at that point because their ego identity is stuck in such a place of pride and arrogance and ignorance that they're stuck, right? So they're not malleable, not moldable, right? You want to be moldable. Those who I work with in one-on-ones that are already in an open mind, those that have an open mind or a free heart, they change and transform so quickly. So quickly. Some people I work with one-on-one, and they're boom into this higher mind version of themselves. Why? Because they're very malleable. They're already in this place of I'm willing and open to whatever, and then whoosh, magic happens. Whoosh, right? The more stuck we are, the more we got to chip away at that concrete, at that solid Play-Doh. The more of belief systems that we have, opinions, thoughts that we have about ourselves, about reality, this is the way reality works. we take a chisel and we start knocking away at that Play-Doh. We got to break it down. It's all dried out. All right. Beautiful. How many of you have ever played the game Jenga? Type a 1 in the chat if you played the game Jenga before. Type a 1 in the chat if you played the game Jenga. Excellent. So in Jenga, you pull out one piece at a time, right? Slowly but surely. If you pull them out in the right way, eventually, Jenga, right? Eventually the whole thing falls apart and then you go, yay. In a very similar way, that's how the mind is. If you pull it in just the right spots, eventually it's Jenga. All right. All right. As we move deeper into the heart.
It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye.
That's right. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Right? The higher mind, the higher self, higher consciousness, you can't see it with your physical eye. An atheist will be stuck on this journey. They'll never get there. It's going to be impossible. Because they're going to say, I need to see it to believe it. Show me proof. Show me proof. What is essential is not seen with the physical eye. Right? So an atheist would never make it on this journey. They're never going to get there until that belief system gets broken apart. Beautiful. Why? Because it's the heart is what crosses the water. The heart crosses the ocean. Type that in the chat. The heart crosses the ocean. The thoughts and the mind can only get you so far. You can learn, you can learn, you can learn, you can have all this knowledge, and it's not going to mean jack until the heart crosses the ocean. Right? The heart is the true bridge. The heart is the true bridge. This is what Christ is pointing to in all of his teachings. In all of his teachings. This is why he says, many of you will call me Lord, Lord. Right? Oh, I cast out many demons and devils in your name. And he'll say, I hardly knew ye. Depart from me. Searches the heart. It's the heart that crosses the ocean. Doesn't matter how much wisdom or knowledge you have or how many times you've read the Bible or whatever it is. The heart is the answer. Blessed are the peacemakers. The kingdom of heaven is theirs. Right? Blessed are the children. The kingdom of heaven is theirs. For I tell you, unless you transform and be ye that of a little child, you will not enter the kingdom. Right? And then John says, I have come to turn the parent's heart to the child. So it's all about transformation of heart and transformation of mind. Paul says, be either transformed by the renewal of your mind. So what is a renewal of mind? If I say that, if I say renewal of mind, what does that mean to you? Renewal of mind, what does that mean to you? What does renewal of mind mean to you? What could this renewal of mind mean? New way of thinking, connection to heart consciousness, being open to transform, fresh perception, different perspectives, remembrance. Let's go. Open mind. So the mind is thoughts, right? It's going to be thoughts, beliefs. Emotions live in the mind as well. Emotional pain body. So we got thoughts, beliefs, emotions, the actions and habits. It makes up the identity. It makes up the mind, right? So when this transforms, you are now a new self, right? New self. This is what we talk about when we're talking about quantum leaps, quantum jumps, when we're talking about highest timelines, or at least when this guy is. I know most other people are not talking from the same perspective or the same understanding, and they just kind of say it because it sounds cool, right? A lot of people are just saying things because it's like buzzwords and it sounds cool. New creation, that's right. Beautiful. So transformation of the mind, and this will also transform the matrix in which you're living. Why? Because Neville Goddard says when you change the conception of yourself, the world in which you live will change. When you change the conception of yourself, the world in which you live will change. So what are some signs that someone is still living deep in the matrix? What are some signs that someone is still living deep in the matrix? What would be your guess? What would be your guess if someone is still living deep inside of the matrix, inside of the mind programming? Yeah, what would be some signs? Routine, fears and worries, habits and addictions, politics and news, complaining, deep into politics, watching the news and constantly talking about it, materialism. So type this in. Number 1, constant comparison to others. Constant comparison to others. I have more than them or I have less than them. I'm more attracted than them, I'm less attractive than them. Right? I have more money than them, I have less money than them. Constant comparison to others. Number 1. I'm better than them, I'm worse than them. I have more followers than them, I have less followers than them. Comparison. All right. Okay. Next. Living for validation. This is a big sign. If someone is constantly living for validation, they are deep in the matrix programming, in the conditioned responses. Why? Because you're not living from your true identity self. You're living in how you want others to see you or others to think of you, right? And in truth, there is no other. Right? So living for validation. Why? Because in truth, there is no other.
Do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth.
What truth?
There is no spoon.
Excellent.
There is no spoon.
Then you'll see that it is not the spoon that bends. It is only yourself.
Excellent. So living for validation and constant comparison to others. Another one, fear-based decision making. Please type that in the chat. Fear-based decision making. Fear-based decision making. Making decisions by fear. Right? Fear-based decision making. Now, I'm not saying any of these things to judge you, to shame you, to guilt you. Everybody has a very unique journey, right? This is all to free you. I work one-on-ones with individuals every Monday through Friday. I am a master in hypnotherapy and neurolinguistic programming as well. I have a very deep understanding of the mind that probably no one you've ever heard before in your life. So if you feel called to work with myself, it's all about bringing you more peace, more joy, more love, regulating your nervous system, getting you out of those states of fight, flight, or freeze, those fear responses, grieving, loneliness, those type of places into a higher, more free version of yourself. There's a little link on the bottom left. A little link on the bottom left. If you feel called that you want to work one-on-one FaceTime with myself, go ahead and fill that out. I'll get you the details. They're very special, right? Because that's the only time you can get me one-on-one. And then we can break apart your own emotions, your own memories, and why what's going on is going on inside, right? Let's go. You need more of this, yeah. Excellent. Beautiful. There's a free giveaway for the channel as well for those of you who are new in here. There's merchandise for this channel. They're high activations on hoodies, crop hoodies, t-shirts, and hats, and there's a giveaway for that at the end of the month. Fill out the link in the bottom left. Just say free giveaway. I'll put your name in the drawing. The only requirement is you have to be a follower, and that's in the upper left there as well. All right, excellent. There's also a free welcome ebook guide for you. Free welcome ebook guide that's about moving into the highest aligned, spiritually connected version of yourself. That's all about that regulated nervous system, deep spiritual connection, and walking as the highest version of yourself. If you want the free welcome guide, that, click on the link on the bottom left down there. There's a little orange link. Just say free ebook. I'll get that to you as well. No strings attached there. Excellent. So as we continue to move on, more signs that somebody is deep in the matrix. Emotional reaction to everything. So we had fear-based decision making decisions based on fear, and then emotional reaction. These are the triggers. Emotionally reacting to everything. The trigger responses. The trigger responses, the emotional reactions to everything.
Mine is just a reflex organ. Reacts to everything. Fills your head with millions of random thoughts a day. None of those thoughts reveal any more about you than a freckle does at the end of your nose.
Right. So that's another key sign that someone is very deep in the matrix, is they're very emotionally reactive. Very emotionally reactive. Where the outside circumstances is controlling all of the emotions, right? All the emotions. All right. Another one is feeling stuck, feeling trapped, but never questioning why. If someone is feeling stuck, if they're feeling trapped, but they're never questioning why or trying to get out of it, that means they're in a deep sleep. They're in a deep sleep. They have a very big veil over their eyes, and they're deep in the matrix. If they're feeling stuck, if they're feeling trapped, and they don't even try to get out, right? Or they don't even question why. You might know people like this in your life, where they complain about feeling trapped or stuck, but they never, ever, ever try to get out. They'll just complain about their job or their money or their relationship, about how they're trapped or they're a victim or they're stuck, but they'll never, ever try and get out. Right. Beautiful. As I talk about free will and conscious choice, human beings think they have more free will than they actually do. And they think they're making conscious choice. Everybody says, I have free will to do this, I have free will to do this. Are we living by dopamine responses, numbing, addictions? Are we living by patterns? Are we living by conditioning responses? Are we living by emotions? Are we truly making all the choices? Or people are acting out of fear of missing out? Right? All sorts of things. There's sales psychology that gets people to buy things that they don't want to buy. Who is making the choice? All right. How many things are there clicking for all of you tonight? Go ahead and put a thumbs up in the chat if things are clicking. Go ahead and put a thumbs up in the chat if anything's clicking here this evening. Click, click, click. Let's go. Click, click, click. Wonderful. So, things start clicking in a very powerful way when you realize, uh-oh, I've been on autopilot. People don't recognize that they're on autopilot. Everybody has a nervous system, everybody has a brain that will put them on autopilot. It will make the decisions, it will run through the emotions, and it will keep the patterns running. The moment you start realizing I'm living on autopilot is the moment you can start waking up. It doesn't mean you're awake, but it means you start to recognize I'm running on autopilot. This can be triggered by loss. It can be triggered by a very deep dark night of the soul through addiction. It can be triggered through failure or deep reflection or burnout. Right? These things can be triggered by when you go, uh-oh, what is going on? There's got to be more. There's got to be more than this, right? Yeah, so those things start to show. And then those things start to show. That's right. Beautiful. Is anybody else glitching on the live? Is anybody else glitching? It is glitching for everybody? It's not on my end, so hopefully it'll resolve itself. Just stopped? Okay. I don't know why it was glitching there. That must have been TikTok's end because it was so much for you. Let me double check the settings on my... Hopefully it didn't get turned back up to 4K. 1280. No, I'm still 1280 by 720. Okay. It's better now? Excellent. I don't want it to glitch out for any of you. So recognizing and realizing more that I'm not as in control of my decisions as I thought I was. I'm not as in control of all my decisions as I thought I was. This is part of the awakening journey. Okay. Christ says, continue looking until you find. When you find, you will become troubled. What would you become troubled about? What would you become troubled about? Right? It says, your battle is not against flesh and blood, but against the principalities and powers of the evils of the darkness of this world. They know how to hijack your mind. They know how to use algorithms. They know how to use television. They know how to use radio. They know how to program your minds. Why do you think your mind goes da 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 da, I'm loving it, and then you end up at McDonald's? Why do you think politicians speak in the way they do? To program belief systems, to get people to follow them, and to do whatever they want for them. This guy understands this in a powerful way. In the military, the first 3 months you're in the military in basic training, they have you repeat things to out loud, yelling them while you're under extreme stress over and over and over and over and over and over again, hundreds of times a day. Why do they do this? Why do they have you yell something out loud under extreme stress that's saying, I am this, over and over and over and over and over and over again? I'm American soldier. I'm here to serve. I will give up my life. Blah, 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 blah. Over and over and over again. It's to program your mind. I don't know why, you guys. I'm not sure. I have perfect connection right now, so bear with it. It might be frozen. It might be TikTok. It might be TikTok, you guys. I have perfect connection. I'm not sure what's going on. Right? I'm not sure what's going on with that. It might be TikTok. Because I have perfect connection this whole time. It hasn't cut out at all on my end. Everything is going very smooth, so just bear with it for a moment. I'm not sure why it's doing that. All right. Excellent. So when something starts to click, wait, I've been living on autopilot, right? The loss, failure, deep reflection, burnout, there's got to be more than this. And then we get to the point of detaching versus escaping, right? Detaching versus escaping. Detaching from the matrix does not mean running away from it. A lot of people think that if I go live off grid, I'm detaching from the matrix. They're running away from it. Detaching from the matrix is not running away from it. Detaching is waking up. It's learning the truth. It's freeing your mind, right? Detaching is not running away from something. This is where people think that they're detaching from the matrix because they're running away from it, because they're going off grid. Right? Detaching does not mean running away. Right? Difference between escaping, right? It's seeing clearly with a higher level of awareness and freedom, and your mind is no longer controlled. This is detaching. This is the removal. You're seeing clearly and your mind is free. Go ahead and type that in the chat. Seeing clearly and the mind is free. That's true detaching. That's removal process of awakening. Seeing clearly with a higher level of awareness and the mind is freed. Christ says, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. The mind is freed. Your soul is freed. You're no longer living by the constructs of the world. He says, keep your mind not on earthly things, but on godly things, right? Seeing clearly and the mind is freed. Be in the world, but not of the world. What is he pointing to? People think they know his teachings until they hear words like this and they go, wait a minute, what's going on? Why does this sound like truth? Why is it that I've read the Bible 20 times and now all of a sudden I hear this and it makes more sense? Because you can only understand it from a surrendered perspective. You can't understand it from an ego perspective. That's how it's designed. Seeing clearly in the mind and soul is free, right? Detaching from the matrix does not mean you stop working. It doesn't mean that you quit your job, right? It doesn't mean that you hate everybody. This is what most spiritual teachers are teaching right now, and they're so off the mark, right? It's about bringing an immensity of clarity, of love, of light to the world. It's about going to your job place happy. It's about going to your job place happy and not talking about all the evils and injustices in the news. So you still work, you still build, you still create, you still love, right? It's not about running away from everything like people are teaching. They're very far off the mark. They have no true awakening inside of themselves. You're no longer emotionally owned by the world. You can go wherever it needs, right? What does Christ say? Come with me and I will make you fishermen of men, right? You can go wherever is called. It doesn't matter. You're no longer emotionally controlled by the world. Please type that in the chat. No longer emotionally owned by outcomes or the world. You're no longer reactive. Your nervous system, your mind, and your being is freed. You're no longer reactive, and your emotions are not controlled. So you go into the world from your highest joy. You create, you build, you love, you work your job, but from a whole new place, right? Most people in the beginning of this, they want to run, they want to escape. Why? Because their mind is overwhelmed. So they want to run away, they want to go into loneliness or solitude, and they want to quit their job, and they want to no longer see anybody ever again. That's the mind trying to escape. That's not true. That's not true detachment. It's not true removal, and it's not true freedom, right? It's not true freedom. It's not true removal or detachment. So you can play the game without believing the game is everything, right? This is the point where I bring people into in the highest level, especially in the one-on-ones. You get to start playing the game from a higher perspective, from a higher level. This is what a lot of billionaires do, especially when it comes to money. I'm not saying that they're super connected with their heart, all of them, but this is how they see money. It doesn't matter to them. It's a fun video game. They move it around, they play with it, they see numbers on a screen, they invest in certain places, they buy businesses, they give things, whatever it may be. And this is how many of your circumstances start to happen. You start to say, yay, I'm broke. Now it's a beautiful challenge. Now it's a beautiful opportunity to prove to myself how I can come out of this. I can show myself courage and strength, right? And I can be the hero of my story and come out of this poverty. Yay, my relationship fell apart. That means it wasn't the right one, and now I can attract the right one, right? Yay, I'm feeling fear. Now is my greatest opportunity to walk through this fear, walk through the illusion, and come into a higher courage and strength. When you reframe everything and from a higher mind, a higher perspective, some of you right now are going, whoa, what is this? Why how can you even think this way? How many of you are having that happen inside of yourself right now where you're saying, how can this be a good circumstance? What? What do you mean it's a good thing that I'm broke? What do you mean it's a good thing I'm in poverty? What do you mean it's a good thing that my relationship is falling apart? What do you mean it's a good thing that I'm ill or sick? How many of you have ever heard this before? Everything is always working out for your highest and greatest good. You don't hear this guy's voice until you're meant to wake up. So I'm here to tell you, wake up. Silver lining. It's not even optimism. It's spiritual empowerment. It's not even optimism, it's spiritual truth and empowerment. It's time to create something new. Please type it in the chat. It's time to create something new. You become solution focused, and we move from the quantum realm and the quantum world. Solution focused. It's about time to create something new. When you're so focused on the problems feed on attention. Albert Einstein says you do not solve a problem from the same level of consciousness in which it was created. So we become solution-based focused. We work from a higher emotion, a higher mind, and boom, our solution is there. Our solution is there to whatever the problem that seems so insurmountable. What is a problem? It's a mountain. Please type that in the chat. Problems equal mountains. Problems equal mountains. Please type that in the chat. Problems in the mind equal mountains. They seem so difficult and so insurmountable. Put in the little equal sign, please. Yeah, there we go, Annie. Let's go. Put in the little equal sign. Problems equal mountains. Right? What does Christ say? When you have faith, ye that of a mustard seed, when you say to the mountain, move, it will move. As you move into faith, into a higher understanding, all of these mountains, so-called problems, they will start to move. And you're working from a solution-based focus. You're creating from the present moment, from a higher understanding, and you no longer have to worry about all these things. Right? Let the tomorrows worry about themselves. Let the tomorrows worry about themselves. Moving from the present. Let's go. Moving mountains. Is there any limitation for God? Is there any limitation for source energy, for the universe? Could it possibly be limited in any way? Thank you, Rochelle. Let's go. I love the bear hugs. Thank you, Rochelle. Can God be limited? Can the universe be limited? Can source energy be limited? It's only our ego perspective. It's only our ego perspective. There is no limitation. Right? So this is part of the leaving the matrix, detaching from it, is leaving limitations and limiting beliefs behind. Go ahead and type that in the chat. Leaving limiting beliefs behind, that is detaching from the matrix. Free your mind, right?
The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this. You have to let it all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, and disbelief. Free your mind.
Right, leaving limited beliefs behind. This is the process. Challenge every single one of your beliefs. I'm too old, I'm too fat, I'm too ugly, I'm not good enough. I can't do it because of this. I don't have enough money, I'm too broke. I'm not smart enough. Whatever it may be, challenge every limiting belief. If you want to create something, you can do it. Whatever you can conceive and believe in your mind, you can achieve. And if you have faith, ye that of a mustard seed, you will move mountains. Right? What does Martin Luther King say? He says, faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. Even when you don't see the whole staircase. So the purpose and design for this guy in this channel is to bring people into a higher joy, into a higher love, and into a higher understanding. Because if you're not living in joy or happiness, what's the point, right? Look at the birds. They love to sing. They love life. Look at every animal. They love life simply just by being. They don't need to prove anything. They don't need to do anything. They just love life, right? And they love you. So this guy's designed to bring you back into that place of understanding. But what is it that's your highest and greatest joy, right? What's your highest and greatest joy in your love? What is it you truly love to create or do or talk about or cook or whatever it is, right? Or play with or sing or dance? And have forgotten, right? And have forgotten.
You are more than what you have become. You must take your place in the circle of life.
How can I go back? I'm not who I used to be.
Remember who you are.
Remember. Remember. Right. And love life. Remember and love life. As I said, remember, being the highest version of yourself has nothing to do with another person. Being the highest version of yourself has nothing to do with another person. Please understand that. At all, right? One person's highest version of themselves might be being of service at their church and loving people there. Another person's highest version of themselves might be creating a massive brand and business. Another person might be cleaning dishes at a restaurant and just enjoying that experience and sending people love and light in that moment. Right? It has nothing to do with another person. You're all unique. We're all built differently. We all have different memories, different structure. We all talk different, think different, right? For a reason. So being the highest version of yourself has nothing to do with another person. It means you living from your creativity, your joy, your connection to the Creator. Your connection to the Creator, being of the highest service that you know how to others. Sometimes that comes with selling items. Sometimes that comes with painting, like you just said, right? Sometimes it comes with dancing or singing. Sometimes it comes with gardening. Sometimes it comes with creating videos on social media. Sometimes that comes with fishing, whatever it may be, right? Everybody has a different calling of creativity. And just remember, the greatest treasures that you seek lay in the caves that you do not want to enter. Greatest treasures that you seek lay in the caves you dare not enter.
When it feels scary to jump, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life.
That's right. So, this is where we play the game without believing that it's so concrete. Who's ready to play the game of life without believing that that circumstance is so powerful? Who's ready to play the game of life without believing that that illness is so powerful, or the finances are so powerful, or that relationship that is falling apart has so much meaning? Who's ready to play the game of life in a different way? Florence Scovel Shinn has a book called The Game of Life and How to Play It. And another book, The Word is Your Wand, and the words you speak create your reality. Yeah? For those of you who have read Florence Scovel Shinn, it's very deep level teachings. If you haven't, that's certainly okay. Not everybody would connect with her teaching, but that was this guy many years ago had found her and was like, whoa, this is next level, right? There'll be certain times where you meet somebody's book or teaching and then you'll recognize, whoa, this is next level. How did I not hear this before? For a lot of you, you hear this voice and you go, whoa, what is this? This is next level. How have I never heard something like this before? And now it feels very freeing and it feels truthful, right? It feels authentic to the soul, right? Authentic to the soul is what you'll recognize. Claire Bear, The Game of Life and How to Play It, and Your Word is Your Wand, and the words you speak create your reality, right? Things just click. That's right, Rochelle. That's the mind, body, and soul coming into understanding together. When your mind, body, and soul start to connect together, this is when you say click, click, click. What's going on, right? So Christ says, number one commandment, love God the Father with your mind, body, and soul. Love God with your mind, body, and soul, the Creator, right? And when they all come into harmony together, things just click. Things just flow. Okay? So how do we start detaching the practical things? Go ahead and comment these as I say them out loud. How do we start detaching from the matrix and start playing from a higher level game? Right? One is observing the thoughts and not believing all of them. Right? So number one is observing all the thoughts and not believing all of them. Most people believe every single thought that they have. Right? So observing the thoughts and not believing them. Why? Because it's a reactive mechanism. And it's just like opening and closing a door of your home. Some of them will visit you more than you want. It's like a bad neighbor. It's like a bad neighbor that just shows up uninvited all the time. Damn it, I didn't invite you. Go home. Why are you over here again, neighbor? Right? You're annoying. Go away. It's like a bad neighbor that just keeps showing up because you leave your door open. Right? Because you leave your door open and you fill your eyes and your ears with all sorts of things. Bye, Felicia, right? So it keeps showing up uninvited. Observe your thoughts instead of believing them, number one. Start questioning everything. Inside of yourself, not outside. Don't question everything on the outside like most people do. What does Carl Jung say? He who looks outside dreams. He who looks inside awakens. Start questioning everything inside, not outside. This is the vast majority of the world. It's the vast majority of so-called spiritual communities. They question everything on the outside. Look at what they're doing. Look at that. Look at this conspiracy. Look at that one. They're questioning everything. I wonder if aliens are real. I wonder if this is real. I wonder what that is. They're questioning everything on the outside. Question your inside. Question your inside. Who told me this? Why do I believe this? Where is this thought coming from? Is this actually true? Or is it just the ego wanting to believe something? Who told me this? Where did this come from? Is this actually true? Questioning the inside. That's right. He who looks outside dreams. He who looks inside awakens. Beautiful. Let's go. Change the conception of yourself. You will automatically change the reality in which you will live. That's Neville Goddard. That's right. And then Yeshua HaMashiach in the Gospel of Thomas says, that which is left in the darkness is that which will destroy you, and that which is brought into the light is that which will save you. Speaking about your own inner world, right? So, another thing, reducing noise. Reducing noise. Less of the mindless scrolling, the doom scrolling, the numbing and hiding and distracting. Reducing noise. And spending a little bit more time in silence. Right? And reducing noise. Reducing noise. Reducing noise. Why? Because it's the last thing that your mind and the ego wants to do. And the last thing that your ego wants to do, why? Because it dissolves it. It dissolves it. So it's the last thing that your mind wants to do is reduce noise. Why? Because if the fear is running, if the worry is running, if anxieties are running, it doesn't want to reduce noise. It wants attention. It wants to feed it. Right? One of the funniest things for this guy is, who in here knows what ASMR is? Who in here knows what ASMR is? So some of them are good, and then a lot of them just sit there and go, right? What are they doing? They're hitting dopamine responses. They're hitting dopamine responses. It's not for sleep. It's not for sleep. It's for people that have ADHD and all these dopamine responses in their nervous system. And then they say, wow, this is so calming. And they type in the chat over and over, this is so calming. But they're not resting. They're not sleeping. They're not moving into silence. It's more noise. It's noise, 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 noise. And they're tricking themselves. So some of these ASMR people have millions and millions of followers, and then they think that they're good at putting people to sleep. Not at all. They're causing the nervous system a higher running in the mind, right? There's not less noise, there's more noise. All right. So, on this journey, sometimes fear will increase at first. Sometimes fear will increase at first. Why? I've had people tell me before, and this guy went through the process as well. I experienced silence and then I got really scared. My mind went quiet and I was in so much love and joy, and then I got really scared. How many of you have ever experienced that before? Wow, this is amazing, but then all this fear pops up. Peace does not exist with fear. Perfect love casts out all fear. They don't exist together, right? So what happens is the conditioning comes back in, the ego turns back on, and it says, I'm not going there. Why? Because losing identity is a death to the ego, right? So it's not about, a lot of people think it's about killing the ego. It's not. It's about befriending it, giving it a new job. It's not about getting rid of it forever. It's about noticing you are the master and it is your servant, right? It is your servant. The mind, the thoughts, it does what you say, not the other way around, right? Christ is the master. Christ inside the light, right? So fear will increase at first for a lot of people, especially when they start to become more silent or more quiet inside, not on the outside necessarily. Sometimes people feel more alone or different or misunderstood. Beth. Sometimes people feel more alone or different or misunderstood. All right? And then that will transform and change. It's just a part of the journey. Understand if you feel misunderstood, nobody understands me, I'm all alone, I'm so different. It's just a simple part of the journey. It's another chapter in your book. It's another phase. It's not forever. This guy went through it on a very deep level. All right. Discomfort is growth. It's not danger. Please type that in the chat. Discomfort is growth. It's not danger. So the cocooned is what? It's the freeze response or the flight response, right? What does a turtle do when it doesn't feel safe? What does a turtle do when it doesn't feel safe? Goes into its shell, right? What gets that turtle out of the shell? What gets that turtle out of the shell, right? Discomfort is growth. It's not danger. So we want balance on this journey. We want to keep your nervous system regulated and balanced. For those of you who feel like you'd have a dysregulated nervous system, where you're living from places of fear, anxiety, worries, confusions, doubts all the time, right? Sign up for a one-on-one. I can offer it. I can't force you into it, of course. They're very unique. There's been lots of testimonials. You can read the reviews as well if you feel called to, right? I've been designed as my expertise in the memories, in the emotions, in the transformation of thoughts and belief systems and the nervous system. Right. Beautiful. So we want to keep it balanced and keep it grounded, especially when we talk about the matrix. Why? Because when people go down this rabbit hole, everything becomes a conspiracy, right? Now, someone's going to live whatever belief system reality that they're living from. And the ego will want to prove that it's right. It doesn't care about being free, as I keep telling you. It just wants to be right. No, I've researched these things. I've seen all these things. I'm right. Let me tell you about all this, and this about this conspiracy. It doesn't matter to me. It has no meaning to me. It has no existence to me. It doesn't matter whether it is or not. Whether that conspiracy is true or not doesn't matter. Why? Because it doesn't bring me love or joy or peace. Right? The ego is fighting to be right and prove itself, right? So when we're talking about detaching from the matrix, right? Be careful when people want to spin you in conspiracies like crazy. Right? Because in truth, does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. What matters is my joy, my peace, my love. Same thing for you. That's what truly matters. And your creativity. That's what truly matters. And being of your highest and greatest service. That's what truly matters, right? And spreading this into the field of awareness and consciousness. Your love, your joy, your creativity, right? Excellent. So on this journey, you stay functional. You don't lose functionality. A lot of spiritual teachers are telling everybody, what's the point, right? Just give up. Don't pay your bills anymore. Quit your job. This is stupid. We're all living in the matrix. Let's show all those billionaires by quitting our job. The billionaires won't care. They're going to hire robots and AI. They're just going to watch you starve and be on the street. They're just going to watch you starve and be on the street, right? That's what a lot of people are teaching right now. They're like, let's show those billionaires and everybody don't pay your taxes and just quit your job. Stay functional. Pay your bills, right? What does Christ say? Give to God what is God's. Give to Caesar what is Caesar. Just give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Who cares? Play the game. Play the game. Who cares? Live from your highest joy, right? Take care of yourself. That is self-love. That is self-love. Take care of yourself, right? Play your game. Take care of yourself. Take care of your life. Take care of your finances. Take care of your family. Take care of the health of your body. Take care of your hygiene. Take care of your cleanliness of your home. Take care of your pets and your kids. Take care of those things, right? Taking care of your reality. Tending to your garden is tending to your awareness. Please type that in the chat. Tending to my awareness is tending to anything that shows up in my life. Anything that shows up in my life that is tending to awareness. Whatever brings itself into my physical reality, whether it's you in here, or whether it's someone in my neighbors, or if it's my pets, right? Or if it's bills or whatever it is, tending to the awareness, right? Anything that shows up in your life, tend to it with love, right? Take care of it. That's self-love. That's self-love, right? That is detachment from the matrix, being in the world but not of the world. That is exactly what Christ is pointing to for being in the world but not of the world. You are no longer a reactive mechanism. You are no longer just an emotional response. You are no longer a conditioned being, but you're a free being, and you're tending to that which is showing up in your reality. Beautiful. Awareness brings clarity, not chaos. Please type that in the chat. Awareness brings clarity, not chaos. Awareness will bring a deeper regulation. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. You shall see the blessings start to show up in your life, not more chaos. When this transformation happens, you are being removed from many karmic bonds, karmic patterns. Everything is quantum entangled in the field. This is why people experience what they experience. Everything is entangled. Awareness brings clarity, not chaos. You start to get removed from these karmic bonds and patterns, and you can start to experience more blessings in your life. Right? So more peace, less reactive. Maybe you start making more money, right? Maybe you fall in love and have a beautiful relationship. You can enjoy life more, right? More intentional decisions and freedom from needing approval. More abundance, right? So what is abundance? Abundance is the overflow of good, right? Abundance is the overflow of good, and I say that this channel is built upon those 7 divine frequencies, which is peace, love, joy, harmony, health, wealth, and money, right? One more time, peace, love, joy, harmony, health, wealth, and money. Beautiful. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the ego versus the true self. Tomorrow we're going to talk more on the ego versus the true self. Tonight was all about the matrix. I enjoyed the talk. I am going to invite some people up to talk at this point for the rest of this time. All right, if you want to come up and chat either about what we talked about tonight, if you have questions for myself, if you want to speak about your own spiritual or soul journey, maybe you've had an NDE, you have your own perspective, or if you need to emotionally release, there is those people that I'm pointing at on the bottom left that look like they're hugging. You should see pink and blue people, or just 2 little people right where my finger is. If you wish to come up and chat, please push on those people. I will invite you up here. Someone needs to break the ice. Someone needs to break the ice and be the first one. I have someone up here. Okay, excellent. Yep. And if you've come up before, that's okay. You can come up again. As there's less people in here than normal, I love, honor, and respect all of you. I'm not sure why it's not getting pushed out as much as it normally is. Normally we get a much higher view count, probably because of all the lag earlier. Probably because it was lagging and glitching and shutting off. TikTok doesn't like that. I don't know why I was doing that. So first we got Chewbacca, or Chuck Chewbacca. First we got Chewbacca. Chuck Chewbacca. Hey, how are you doing? Can you hear me? You're gonna have to turn your volume up. Chewbacca, can you hear me? Oh, you're putting in headphones? Okay. Has been waiting for a while, so probably doesn't know I picked up. Oh, okay. Chewbacca, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Excellent. Thanks so much for coming up. Beautiful.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in my spiritual awakening now. I thank God for the awareness and everything. So I meet you today. I thank God. I've been writing all the words and everything.
Hold on 1 second. Can anybody else hear him clearly? Can anybody else hear clearly? I can't hear you clearly at all.
Yeah,
No.
I'm walking through my awakening now.
Yeah, it's very difficult to hear you. I can't make out any of the words. There's something you need to either speak into the microphone in your phone, or those headphones are no good for speaking.
Okay.
Okay, excellent. We'll go ahead and invite somebody else up. If you figure out the microphone problem, I would love to have you up, but I just couldn't hear you. We got Justina, then Rochelle, and then Bobby. We'll go ahead and invite Justina up here if she wants to come up and talk.
Oh, here I am again.
Hey, Justina.
Hi, how are you, Josh?
Fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right.
Excellent. Thanks for coming up.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you. I've been thinking a lot about how you say, do you want to be right or do you want to be free?
Yeah.
Which is surrendering control.
Yeah.
Right? There's no control in this. I understand all that. But what do you do in a situation where you put it out there because there's self-love and you need to take care of yourself of things that come into your awareness? Like, I can't sleep. Noise that's very loud. Okay, so I address that. Can you please turn it down? They say no.
Yeah.
I won't do that. Can you please wear headphones? It's disrupting my... No, I won't do that. Okay, so I'm wearing the headphones to sleep. I'm putting things in my ears to sleep. But now now I'm on the couch because it's beyond that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it's another level. Like, I think it's like they're retaliating, or I don't know. Something is definitely feels weird.
It's part of your journey to see if you're going to stand up for yourself. So when everyone is a reflection of light and of God, if someone's awakened to that, you become the authority in that moment. You're not meeting them from revenge or hatred, or you want something bad to happen to them, but you become the authority and you say, this is not something that is respectful or right, and then you just take care of it however that happens. Maybe you call your landlord or whatever, right? But what needs to be done needs to be done. If it's affecting your health or your sleep out of self-love, you take care of it.
Right. And the only thing that I can do is remove myself because there's no solution.
Yeah, I mean, if the landlords don't step up, or if police don't step up or anything like that, then you have to find a new situation. In the meantime, headphones, and then, right, it might be about coming into a place of, can I still find peace even when they're doing that, and then moving on. That might be part of your journey, right? Can I still find peace even though they're doing it? Mm-hmm.
That's very hard for me.
Yeah.
Because I find my nervous system, like, it just starts, because I start getting anxiety, or I'm not getting good sleep, and it's affecting me, my mental health. I mean, I'm sleeping, and I'm on like almost the same schedule as these people. When I was on a wonderful sleep schedule and like doing things to take care of myself and love myself, and I think it's definitely.
So I'm going to give you a resolution that you're probably not going to like in the beginning, but I'm going to give you a resolution that you're probably not going to like in the beginning, Justina, but this is from a higher mind and from a higher love. Start bringing them stuff as gifts. Start bringing them something that you cook and say, thank you so much for being my neighbor. I know we haven't really been seeing eye to eye, but I just want to start something anew, something afresh. Don't do it out of expecting anything, but continue to just give them from a place of love. So like Christ says, if someone comes to steal your coat, right, give them if they slap you on the cheek, give them the other cheek. If they steal something, give them something else. When they start to meet a love and a respect and kindness, even when you're being treated like garbage and like crap, eventually something might wake up inside of them. They might go, oh, they've been really nice to me. Maybe I shouldn't do this, right? But it might take a little bit.
Yeah, well, I'm living in the with them, so it's not a neighbor situation.
So I'm pointing to a much higher level of kindness and love and giving, regardless of how you're being treated.
No, I understand that. I do understand that.
Yeah.
I also want to just I'll avoid. I do the avoid thing and the quiet thing and the quick builder, and I do all that.
I can't hear you anymore either. I don't know what's going on with the speakers tonight, but can you speak clearly in the mic?
You can't hear me?
Now that's better. Something else was going on.
Oh, no, I'm saying, as I've lived with many different people, lots of roommates, lots and lots of roommates. I've had to move so many different times, and each time you're adjusting to new people and energies, lifestyles, sleep schedules, all of that. And a lot of times I'll do the avoiding thing, like I'll know their schedule and I'll just stay out all night or, all day, and to the detriment of myself sometimes. So I don't have to face that person a lot of times. Or, if I see them, I'll turn the other way. I'll go up the other staircase, or just like, I don't want to see those people that affect me. Like, that's what ends up happening to me, which only like eats me inside, because I feel the dislike and what I feel like I'm starting to not hate, but it just starts. I start really disliking a person.
Yeah, it's growing seeds of resentment.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say exactly.
Yeah, so notice how seeds of resentment are being grown inside, and then the reflection gets greater and greater. The more that we grow into resentment, it will get stronger. Those reflections will get stronger, and they'll prove it more and more and more how much that you don't like them, how much you don't want to be around them, how much you hate them, and it will grow, just like a fire.
Mm-hmm. Right, and for usually, like, someone who doesn't want to take any responsibility like that, I'm the bad person. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more of
because I stand up for myself. So then.
So what
I'm
we're
the
pointing
bad guy.
to is your identity. What does your identity truly want? What is it you truly want? Because you're spinning in a cycle and you're not giving yourself any sort of resolution.
I want peace.
Okay. So I want peace. So it's going to come in which ways?
I guess be the peace, be the kindness.
Or
the other way is not going to work.
Yeah, the other way would be to look for a new roommate or a new place, right? That would be the other way, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you're going to be brought into one of those two for the solutions, right? Either I'm going to be the peace and be at peace no matter what's going on in my outside world. I don't care how rude or whatever it seems they're being, and I'm just going to let it. I'm going to be at peace regardless of what's going on. It's like Viktor Frankl, right, where he writes The Man's Search for Happiness, where he said, I don't care what Germany's doing right now. They're unaliving my family and my friends and everybody, but I'm going to find the beauty in the moment regardless. He says they're not going to take my peace. I don't care what they do to me. Right?
Right.
So maybe that's your journey, or it's just getting out of the trapped mindset of I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. I have to be with them. Right? That's also a trap in the ego, in the matrix of saying, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Right?
Right. And I do have a choice. I know that I have a choice. I know that and that is part of my journey right now is I've been looking for apartments, and I want to move to New York, and that's been a long journey
Yeah.
with that, and limiting beliefs around that, and I'm really breaking
So guess what?
from those limiting beliefs.
So guess what? That person is a catalyst for you to do what? To break limiting beliefs and to actually go into that which you fear because you don't like your situation. So that person that you're resenting is actually your greatest catalyst to push you in the butt to get moving into New
Right.
York.
I agree. No,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you can actually love them from that perspective, yeah?
Yeah, I almost feel like the fire.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a fire under my butt now.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it's really showing me and revealing to me that this cannot work.
Yeah. So oftentimes the people that are the ones that trigger us the most and they do the things, it's to push us, and it's the catalyst for it's time for that change.
Right. They're our teacher.
Yeah. And that will bring you into greater acceptance, greater love as well. Thank you for being loud and annoying. Now I have to fight this limiting belief that I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. That, because it is the big fear of change, the big fear of having to do it again, moving again. And that's why I haven't, because I've done it so many times. I don't even know how many times.
Yeah.
20? I mean, a ridiculous amount of times of different roommates.
Yeah. There was this guy was in the military for 8 years, and there were many times when I would be in a bay with like 30 to 50 men, and they're all sleeping. Sometimes they would snore so loud the whole room would vibrate, and there's no way, right? And there were certain times where I get very frustrated because I'm like, how am I going to function there? I'm only going to get an hour of sleep or 2 hours. I hate this, right?
Yes.
But then I would catch the mind eventually and go, you know what? How is this serving me in this moment? How is hating this moment, resenting it, getting frustrated that I'm not getting any sleep, how is this actually serving me? Regardless, I'm going to go into a place of meditation and peace, and in a place where I can be filled even if I don't fall asleep. Because that's truly what's going to fill me and regenerate me and restore me. Not the frustration, not the anger, not the resentment. Because I'm stuck with them. I don't have a choice.
Right. Yeah. I guess that's how I feel in a way. I mean, just right now.
Yeah.
You know. And so I stay in the room like I'm the least, yeah.
So the more annoying and the louder that they get, if it's meant for your journey to move onward, you're going to be forced to. That's how your soul is nudging you.
Yeah.
You're going to be forced to overcome this limiting belief. You're going to get a new place, and it'll be serving you for your highest and greatest good in a way that you can't see right now. And you'll look back and say, I'm so happy that they were super annoying and that they pushed me out of there.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna happen much sooner than I think.
Yeah. So how does that make you feel now when I reframe it that way?
It actually makes me feel motivated.
Yeah.
And relief.
Yeah.
Knowing that I can do it.
Yeah.
Which actually sort of brings tears to my eyes because for so long I thought I couldn't. I was scared to do it.
Yeah. Living by the fear.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when we live by fear, right? We're not listening to our higher self. We're just living by the conditioning.
Right. It's like I think I'm taking care of myself, but I'm not taking care of myself.
Yeah.
To the level that I need. You know. Plus, I want to be in an environment where I can be my highest version of myself, where I can be my most creative self.
Yeah.
Where I can do those things and not, because there's a lot of other people trying to do the same thing in the house. And I feel like there's no room for me to be my creative self.
So that's another limiting belief and something to tackle on your journey is regardless of what's going on from other people or the environment, you're allowing the environment to control your connection and your creativity, right? You're saying the environment has control over my connection and over my creativity, which in truth it doesn't, but you're giving power to it. So that's another thing that you can look at as well.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest creations of all time, authors that have written books, artwork, all sorts of things have come from very, very difficult circumstances, right? Very, very difficult circumstances. Sometimes people are in prison, wherever, and that's when they write the most beautiful things, or when they create the most beautiful things.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like the saddest I've ever felt.
Right now in this moment or in general?
Like this situation.
So allow yourself to be as sad as possible and to grieve and allow it to move through. And then you'll recognize it's just another cloud moving, the storm comes, the sky doesn't fight the cloud, right?
Yeah. And just on top of all this, there's still grief for my dad passing, so it's like compounded.
Yeah, and you feel powerless.
Yeah.
Just notice how powerless you feel, and are you willing to surrender the control of the situation? The control of your father is no longer here, and then also the roommate situation.
Yeah.
So when you feel powerless, the only thing that you can truly do is what? Move into a place of love, joy, and peace, and then that will start to mend and heal and start to bring clarity to the situations.
Yeah.
It's just a moment in time. I know it seems so big right now, but you'll look back on it and you'll laugh, I promise. Not on your father passing, but on the roommate.
Yeah. I wish it wasn't family.
Yeah. And then what happens oftentimes is when people move away from each other after being roommates, they mend and heal because when they're close in the rooms, this is when they annoy each other and all those things, and then all of a sudden you get some space, and then you can be friends again or family again, right? That happens to a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I moved away from my family for 20 some years. I've been back for about 3, and I just feel like I'm better with some distance.
Yeah.
And that's okay. They don't like it, but it's what I need.
Yeah. And maybe you'll feel called to a one-on-one. Those will be the deepest level. There's a lot of things in those one-on-ones I can do that I don't do in here and I can't do in here. So
yeah,
because they're very unique and just designed for your journey. So that might be there. We're getting a little bit shorter
I
on
think
time.
like an energy you mentioned, I think this morning, and you were explaining to somebody you can do an energy shift or.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I can do in there. Energy transference just happens naturally. As the mind is surrendered, as the heart is open, energy transference will just happen naturally. But then I can also do like neurolinguistic programming and all sorts of things with memories and all sorts of cool things.
Yeah. I know I need to sign up. Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No, thank you so much. Yeah, for coming up. We're gonna try and get somebody else up here.
Yes,
please. We don't have too much time left here. But thanks, Justina. Everybody, send her some love.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience and listening. And have a beautiful night.
It always helps everybody's journey as well. Excellent. Thank you for coming up. Let's see, on the list here, there's the 2 little people on the bottom left. If you want to come up and talk, we got Bobby next. And I think we're going to end with Bobby as well. We're already a little bit over on the time, but that's okay. We'll go a little bit longer here. Hey, Bobby, how are you?
Hi, Josh. Just wanted to say thank you for this live and we talked about fears, and I wanted to face one of my fears by joining a live session.
Beautiful.
That-
Let's go. So,
yes,
so you notice some energy arising. Oh, I'm a little bit scared to come up and talk. Now is my opportunity to face it.
that's exactly what happened. I
Yes.
felt very calm during the one of this live show,
Yeah.
and after that, I just realized that you talk about fear a little coming in the way when we try to change.
Yes.
And that is exactly what I just wanted to make one short come to the life. Sorry for my little English
No, you're perfect. You're very
language.
easily understood. Yeah, keep going.
English is not my native. One more reason is because I was working on establishing. Uh, I have a plan to establish a YouTube channel, which should be about repairing electronics,
Yeah.
and that would be as live with the live content,
Yeah.
and I had to start somewhere, and I saw this is the perfect opportunity for me to face one of the fears,
Yes.
because I always prolong the time when I will open this channel
Yes.
on YouTube.
Yes. Procrastination is a freeze response. Why? Because if I start taking action, I have to face certain things that I haven't faced before. It's fear of the unknown.
Yes, that's exactly.
Yeah.
So this is one first step.
So one beautiful thing for you, Bobby, a child when you're a little kid and you've never ridden a bike before, what do you do?
Uh, I never.
So you've never gotten on a bike
E-
before, but your parents bring you a bicycle, and you're 5 years old or 6 years old. What do you do? Uh-oh, there goes my light.
I climb on the bike. That's the first step.
Beautiful. So you get up on the bike, right? And bear with my light, I'll get it back on. But you get up on the bike, right? And then what do you do?
Yes. Well, you just reminded me on my first ride with my dad was pushing me. I just tried to ride a bike, and my dad was pushing me like 4 or 5 meters. I looked in front of me, and one of the moment I just realized uh, I'm I'm riding the bike by myself. Uh, my father had let the bike go, and I was riding the bike all by myself.
So you're able to ride the bike all by yourself, right?
Yes, just a
Beautiful.
little push
Yeah.
was needed.
So you can
A
think of
few
this right
meters.
now. My voice is a little push. My voice right now
Yes,
is a little push for you, and then you're able to ride the bike all by yourself. So you're not
yes.
you're not expected to know in the beginning. You don't know how to ride it. You don't know how to create the the YT. I gotta be careful with saying that. You don't know how to create the YT channel, and you just need that little push in the beginning. And then once you get those pedals rolling on your bike, then what happens? Once you start pedaling that bike,
Uh, well, I think I can be a little more free from my of how to say that. I have a job at the town hall,
yeah,
and it seems that it is not enough for my family
yeah,
to be to to cover all expenses,
Sure.
and that is one of the reasons to be a little more uh, to have a little more financial freedom to
Yeah.
travel and to go on vacations.
Beautiful. So there's absolutely you have the right intention. You want to take care of your family and live a little bit more secure and more free, right? And then the creating of that side income will be a source for that, especially something like electronics. That's a huge industry. A lot of people need their electronics fixed. There's technology in every single home, so the demand is definitely there. It's how you can enjoy doing it, right? How can I
Yeah.
enjoy doing this? Because the more joy that you'll have, the more energy that you'll have, and the easier it'll be for you to create those things. But just remember, every kid falls down on the bike. There's no kid that doesn't fall down, right?
Yes.
Sometimes we
I felt a few times.
yeah, yeah, exactly. We all fall, right? We all fall. There's always the learning experiences and then the getting back up and continuing. And eventually,
Yes.
you can put your hands up in the air and say, look, I can ride this bike with no hands.
Yes, I rode with no hands, but still,
Yeah.
sometimes I fall on riding, but that was too fast riding
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
electric bike.
Yeah. We want to ride in the balance, right? Riding in balance and riding in
Yes,
flow.
balanced meal.
Beautiful.
Thank you for letting me join
Thank you.
the channel.
Yeah. Have this channel continue to serve you in that way. I look forward to hearing about your channel. Let's go.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much, Bobby. Excellent. Everybody send Bobby some
Goodbye.
love and appreciation for coming up here. Incredible exactly what he just said, because the greatest treasures that you seek lay in the caves that you fear to enter, right? So he said, I feel a little bit of fear. Now is my opportunity to face it, and I'm coming up and talking because there's fear there. And what happens when you face it? It dissolves. Fear is illusion when you're willing to walk through it, right? And a higher mind is saying, I'm not going to allow the nervous system to control my actions. I'm not going to allow the fear of the nervous system to control my action, because am I physically in danger? No. It's a social fear, right? It's a structure. I'm fear of being judged, right? So when you face it, all of a sudden, you gain a higher power over the nervous system in that moment, even by simply walking through a small, what someone would say a small fear, but it's a big fear for a lot of people, right? Fear of speaking in front of others. When you walk through things like that, you are taking more command, greater command over the nervous system, because you're not in physical danger, right? Sorry, body, I'm going to take control of you now because I'm not in physical danger. This fear is not going to run my system any longer, right? You're going to walk through it. Beautiful. With that being said, we are going to conclude Higher Consciousness Awakenings talk here tonight. Tomorrow, we're going to cover ego versus the truth, right, in a very powerful way. I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow evening. Before I leave, I'm going to hang out and just answer a couple questions in the chat. And once again, there's a free giveaway for the channel. If you want to be a part of the free giveaway for the merchandise, for the hoodie, fill out the link in the bottom left where my finger is pointing. Just say free giveaway. There's going to be a drawing at the end of the month. There's a free ebook if you'd like. It's all about moving into the highest, most aligned version of yourself. Click on the link on the bottom left, say free ebook. I will get that to you. And then if you're interested into having more of a one-on-one specialized for you, right, about your mind, your emotions, your memories, and having an opportunity to actually process and transform these things in a very powerful way, whether it's fear or grieving or worries, right? Addictions, whatever it may be that's going on in your inner world. This is where my expertise is in your inner world and your spiritual transformation and highest connection. Same thing, fill out the link in the bottom left. Just say one-on-ones and I'll get the details to you. For those of you who are curious, the nighttime dream state experiences I'm in the process of uploading. For the most recent ones, like the going through the clouds, angelic drift, the enchanted forest, right? The timeless desert, a few of these, I will get those uploaded. And then that song from last night got uploaded as well, which is the celestial harmony, which is a very high level of light code activation. So for those of you interested in the music or the nighttime hypnotics, be sure to contact me as well. And then I'm going to just hang out for a couple minutes here. Hi, Kathleen. I'll go ahead and play that music right now, actually, and then you can decide if you want to go ahead and purchase it. It's called celestial harmony. Beth, you got it right away, yeah. Excellent. How do you feel peace no matter what, like you said, with that man you used as an example? By continuing to focus on the truth of the peace and the light itself, and not on the physical reality. In a situation like that, where you are in that environment no matter what, it would be being in the world but not of the world. It'd be removing the mind from that circumstance. Even though the physical body is there, it doesn't mean that the attention needs to be on it. For example, if a lot of the times when people are in physical pain, when I use hypnotherapy on them, they're no longer in physical pain. Even though the body has the pain didn't get removed. Their awareness of it did, right? Anesthesia. Someone goes under anesthesia. They have lots of talks with the doctor or with the dentist. They come out of it and go, okay, when's the surgery? And they go, the surgery's done. What? What do you mean it's done? I don't even know what happened. They go, you talked to me the whole time. We had a huge conversation about the Bills, the Dolphins versus Bills game or whatever, right? I did? What? The body was still moving, the mind was still moving, but your awareness was not there, right? You were not aware of it, right? So you become aware of something else than just the physical environment that you're in. This is how you could feel peace all the time regardless. You become aware of something else. I hope that answered your question. Beautiful. Thank you. It's not hard. It's actually the easiest thing ever. The mind thinks it's hard, but it's actually the easiest thing ever. Peace is the easiest thing ever. It's always present. It's always here. It takes no effort. Yeah, all the music is created by this guy, all the backgrounds, all of the hypnotics, all of the stories, they're all created through this channel. Just allowing my voice to take you deeper in this moment. Every single frequency, all of the tunes. Bringing you relief over your nervous system in this moment. Nice deep breaths. Gentle exhales, feeling a clarity, a comfort of mind, feeling a light activation inside of yourself. For those of you who want this music, right, it is available for personal use. Make sure to fill out the link in the bottom left. Just say I want the music and I'll get you the details. Right, everything is priced very low. I make it definitely affordable. Let's go, Anita. Excellent. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and end the live. I will see a lot of you tomorrow night for the Higher Consciousness Awakening Talks, where we break down the ego versus the truth and have more people come up and chat about their journey. And then Monday, we'll be back to the normal routine of the Motivation Momentum Monday, Powerful Wake Up, and then back to the Nighttime Dream State Lives on Monday night. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Have an amazing Saturday night, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody who sent things tonight. I know we didn't quite meet the goal. Maybe I'll lower it for tomorrow night. But thank you to those who did send the appreciations. I certainly know who you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good night. Bye-bye, bye-bye.